imagine the Romans. They loved their grand buildings. They adored their public baths. These were places of steam, water, and chatter. But what if these bustling places held secrets? What if, deep beneath the warm floors, something else lay hidden? This is a story of such a discovery. Archaeologists were working in an old Roman city. The city was known for its amazing bathhouse. For years, people thought they knew all its secrets, but then the earth offered up something new. A surprise lay waiting. It was buried for centuries. A hidden world was about to emerge into the light. The ground gave way to a void, not a collapse, but a space deliberately made. It was beneath the usual bathhouse floors. A secret sanctuary long forgotten was calling out. The discovery happened in Thermaeum. This ancient city lies in what is now Turkey. Thermaeum was once a thriving Roman settlement. It was famous for its natural hot springs. People came from all over the empire to bathe in its healing waters. The bathhouse was the jewel of the city. The excavation team was led by Dr. Aris Thorne. His team was initially restoring a section of the caldarium. This was the hot room of the bathhouse. They were checking the integrity of the hypocor system. During this careful work, a section of the floor sounded hollow. This was unusual and sparked their curiosity. They decided to investigate further. The process was slow and painstaking. Each layer of soil was removed with care. Then they found it. A small, deliberate opening hidden beneath a large displaced mosaic tile. The real work was just beginning. Why is this discovery so very important? Finding a Christian church is always exciting, but finding one beneath a Roman bathhouse, that is extraordinary. It tells us so much. It speaks of a time of great change. Early Christians often faced persecution. The Roman Empire was not always kind. Their faith was new and sometimes seen as a threat. Roman bathhouses were symbols of Roman culture. They were public and represented the Roman way of life. To find a church here is quite a shock. It shows how early Christians had to be clever and resourceful. They needed places to worship, but these places had to be secret. This discovery challenges our ideas. We often think of early churches as separate buildings or hidden in catacombs, but this find suggests they used existing structures. They adapted them for their own sacred purposes. It was a faith finding its feet in a hostile world. How did the archaeologists know it was a church? There were clues, subtle signs, whispers from the past. These clues were not obvious at first. They were hidden in the details. The first hints came from small engravings scratched onto the lower walls. These were not Roman patterns, they were different. One looked like a fish. The fish was an early Christian symbol. It was called the ichthys, a secret code for believers. Then they found fragments of frescoes. These were wall paintings. The colors were faded by time, but the images were still there. One showed a shepherd with a lamb. This is a common image of Christ, the Good Shepherd. These were not scenes you would find in a typical Roman bathhouse. What did this hidden church actually look like? It was not a grand cathedral, of course. It was a modest space, carved out from the substructures of the bathhouse. The layout was simple yet functional. It had a main rectangular room. This would have served as the nave, the place where the congregation gathered. It was long and narrow. The ceiling was low, supported by rough arches. These arches were part of the bathhouse foundations. At one end of this main room there was a raised area, slightly higher than the rest of the floor. This was likely where the altar stood, the focal point of their worship. There were no elaborate decorations here, just simple stone. Perhaps a wooden table once stood upon it. Nearby they found a small niche carved into the wall. This might have held sacred objects or perhaps a lamp to light the space. One of the antechambers showed signs of another purpose. There was a sunken basin. Archaeologists believe this could have been a baptistry. Why would early Christians choose a bathhouse? Of all places, why here? The most obvious reason is secrecy. Roman bathhouses were busy, noisy places, full of people coming and going at all hours. This constant activity provided excellent cover. Who would notice a few people slipping away, disappearing into a less used part of the complex? The existing structure was also a key factor. Bathhouses already had extensive underground areas. These were for the heating systems, for water channels, for storage. These spaces could be adapted. With some effort, they could be turned into rooms. The Christians did not need to build from scratch. This would have been too dangerous, too noticeable. Instead, they used the Roman engineering. They used it for their own divine purposes. Water is a powerful symbol in Christianity. It represents cleansing. It represents rebirth. Bathhouses were all about water. This remarkable discovery paints a vivid picture. It tells us about the lives of early Christians. It shows their incredible courage. They lived in a world that was often hostile. Their beliefs were new. They were misunderstood. Sometimes they were actively persecuted. Yet, they found ways to practice their faith. They found ways to build communities. They did this in secret in the shadows of the great Roman Empire. This church is a monument to their spirit. Imagine that small community in Thermaeum gathering in their hidden church, the sounds of the bathhouse above them, the splashing water, the chatter of Roman citizens, and below in the quiet dark they prayed. They sang their hymns softly, they shared their sacred meal, they supported one another, they kept their faith alive. The unearthing of this church in Thermaeum is stunning. It makes us wonder, what else lies hidden beneath our modern world? How many other secrets are waiting to be found? Ancient cities are like layered cakes of history. Each layer tells a different story. We have only scratched the surface. There could be other hidden churches, other secret meeting places waiting for archaeologists to uncover them. This discovery prompts so many questions. How many such communities existed? How did they communicate with each other? What other ingenious ways did they find to survive? Each new find like this adds a piece to the puzzle. It helps us understand the spread of early Christianity. It shows the daily lives of ordinary people who chose a dangerous path, a path of faith in a pagan empire. Their stories are still being written. The work of archaeologists is never truly done. The earth guards its secrets well, but with patience, skill, and a bit of luck, these secrets can be revealed.